Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United are getting really close to extending Bruno Fernandes' contract. Bruno Fernandes' salary will be just over 12 million a year. Bruno Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further year. Bruno Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for over 2 years now. Manchester United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. He's one of our best players and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Now, I want to give you some news on Declan Rice. So, Manchester United are leading the race to sign Declan Rice. That's according to the Daily Mail. West Ham's asking price is 150 million for Declan Rice. Declan Rice prefers a move to Chelsea over Manchester United. Declan Rice is predominantly a defensive midfielder, but it can also be deployed as a centre-back. He's the age of 23, so still very young, got a lot of development in him. Declan Rice has been a long-serving player at West Ham. He's been at West Ham for around 7.5 years. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Rice has made 159 appearances in the Premier League for West Ham and he's scored 6 goals. Before West Ham he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he actually never got in Chelsea's first team. So that's the news on Rice, and the summer of this year I'm expecting Man United to sign a midfielder and a striker. Now, you know the news regarding Erik ten Hag. You know, Erik ten Hag is the favourite to become Manchester United's next manager. Recently, Erik ten Hag got interviewed by Manchester United. Man United have also interviewed other candidates. Erik ten Hag is ready to leave Ajax at the end of this season. The Ajax CEO, Edwin van der Sar, will not stand in Erik ten Hag's way if he asks to make a move to Manchester United. You know, there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag become the club's next permanent manager. And you know the news regarding Mauricio Pochettino. Manchester United may have run out of time to appoint Mauricio Pochettino, as PSG have set the cost. PSG may have to pay 17 million to sack Pochettino. Pochettino is under serious pressure at PSG. Julian Lopetegui and Luis Enrique are on Manchester United's short list. Ralph Rangnick, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 4 months. It initially said he's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did say he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But obviously the consultancy role is now in doubt. He said the other week that Manchester United are considering sacking Ralph Rangnick. Rangnick has lost 4 games in all competitions as Manchester United's interim manager. Earlier on this season it said Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. There's been good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. And like I've said, Rangnick's been totally blameless for the poor performances. I think the players have had to take responsibility for the poor performances. Got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach. Before Manchester United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window this year. Rangnick has enjoyed 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager. You know, Man United enjoyed a very disappointing January transfer window this year. Earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Sascha Lenzin as a sports psychologist. Earlier on this season, Rangnick did say that his aim for this season is for Manchester United to finish in the top 4. Well, Man United's focus is now finishing on the top 4 this season, because obviously we can't win a trophy this season. Not so long ago, Man United got knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico Madrid. You know, Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. Even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club, so the managers we've sacked since Ferguson, we sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then Man United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under him. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy 1 good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. So there you go. You know, in the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, and Man United have spent, over 1.3 billion in the last 10 years. We've brought over 40 odd players in since Ferguson retired, and let me put into the equation, you know, Rangnick now is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. You know, none of this squad is Rangnick's. You know, Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and A lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one will replicate what Ferguson did at the club. You know, Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United because he won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So it does take some managers time to settle in. You know, Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. Before Ferguson, you know, Man United weren't that good. We weren't good under Ron Atkinson. We weren't that good under Wolf McGuinness. And we certainly weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. Man United actually got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in the 70s. That's around what? Nearly 50 years ago now. Is it something like that? By the way, was it earlier on this year Frank O'Farrell died? And don't forget, at one point we had Matt Busby. The Glazers, we need to get them out because they've been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers are still at Man United. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years. The Glazers bought Manchester United for 500 million back in 2005. And revert back to what the other week, there was rumours that Old Trafford could be demolished as Man United looked to upgrade the stadium. You know, looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. You know, Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. Old Trafford is the second biggest stadium in England. So there you go, and in the summer of this year, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club. You know the news regarding Paul Pogba. It said from Sky Sports News yesterday that Paul Pogba was in talks with 2 Premier League clubs, with his contract to end at the end of the season. Real Madrid, Juventus and PSG and that have also been interested in Paul Pogba. Earlier on this season, Pogba's trainer claimed that he wants to leave Old Trafford at the end of the season. Earlier on this season, Pogba's house got burgled. That was during Manchester United's Champions League game against Atletico Madrid. That was the second leg. Pogba is a good player. He's not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Earlier on this season, he was out with injury for a while. Well, he's endured quite a few injuries since he re-signed, so reflecting on that, he is injury prone. Manchester United paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive sign at the moment, and we had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. This season has been Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far and he's played over 200 games since he re-signed. Matic, also expecting him to leave in the summer because Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's been given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic is out of contract at Man United in the summer. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for £40 million. I'm expecting us to let Van der Beek and Martial leave permanently this summer. At the moment, Van der Beek's out on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Jesse Lingard, he'll also leave Man United in the summer. Lingard should have left Manchester United in January, but we blocked his exit. Lingard's out of contract in the summer. He has been part of the club for a long time as Lingard, but doesn't get in the team much. Juan Mata, also expecting him to leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Mata doesn't get in the team. He lost his place in the team a while ago. Mata's been at Manchester United for 8 years. He's had a good career at Man United. Man United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014 for 37.1 million. I think 40 million with add-ons. Edison Cavani, also expecting him to leave in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Cavani's been linked to a move to Brazil and La Liga. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Earlier on this season had a groin injury. Well, he's had quite a few injuries since he signed for the club. I initially thought Ronaldo was leaving, but looks like he's not leaving this summer, because the other week AS said that Ronaldo has no plans to leave Man United this summer and he's willing to see out his contract. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Jones and Bailly, also expecting them to leave in the summer because they don't really get in the team. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Man United are prepared to sell Harry Maguire. We need to sell Harry Maguire. He's not good enough to represent the club. Harry Maguire is Man United's captain. I can't understand how he's still captain. You know, a lot of Manchester United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. Earlier on this season, though, Rangnick said that Maguire will remain Man United captain until the end of the season. You know, Man United overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. He's been at Man United for over 2 years, Maguire, and he's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. We'll also look to sell Wan-Bissaka in the summer because he's not good enough, and Wan-Bissaka is not our first choice right back under Rangnick. Obviously, Delors our first choice right back under Rangnick. Dean Henderson, you know, we'll also sell him in the summer. Henderson's our second choice goalkeeper, doesn't really get in goal because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that #1 spot back. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Earlier on this season, he got arrested for abusing his girlfriend, and he had COVID earlier on this season. Towards the end of last season, though, Henderson got that #1 jersey, and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. He's got that experience behind him as Henderson, because before he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, he's also had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Henderson's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. So yeah, there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.